Namaskar. I Shambhavi welcome you all to your channel Galactic Echoes. So let's start exploring the wisdom of Vedic astrology. So today we'll be doing a very interesting video. We'll be understanding the outcome of your public image through your profession. Like what is the end product of your profession? Like people are doing so many things, they are attached. Profession is something, some daily kind of a work on regular basis. That is something else. You are earning your bread and butter from that. But public image is something which is being reflected, which is being shown as the end product of your profession. Someone who is in a routine job reflects the public image that he or she is the person, they are in this and this job, and they are having a comfortable life, they are going to their office or work daily on the daily basis, they have their happy family and they are living a normal happy life. And then there is someone else, like people in army or in air force or in military forces. What their profession is reflecting in their lives, that they are the people who are working in such a such way, in such a such force, in such a such military background, and they are the people who are risking their lives every day for saving the nation. So how are we connecting the Atmakarka in a particular house in the D1 to our profession? By the fact that whatever profession you are in, you are actually investing a major chunk of your daily routine, of your daily life, or of your time into that work, into that particular work on regular basis. So it defines your life, it defines your self, your Atmakaraka, it defines your existence on this planet Earth. Now, what particular profession you are in, the nature of your profession, specific things will be decided by the Amatyakaraka in your chart. In the specific house it is in the specific sign it is in. But the Atmakaraka and its basic placement in a house, in a sign, reveals a lot of, it gives us a package of details. They are related to your own self, to your health, to your wealth, to your profession also, and even to your spouse. So in this session, we'll be talking about how the Atmakaraka placed in a particular house in your D1 chart will throw what kind of image in your profession, how is it related to your profession. And in the subsequent sessions, we will talk more about how the Atmakaraka is related to your spouse, to your health, to your wealth, and so on. Wherever the Atmakaraka is sitting, the Karakas of that particular house comes naturally to you. Why? Because that particular planet, which is your Atmakaraka, it has traveled the maximum degrees of that particular house. So it is a very swift, natural coming thing to you. And that particular planet has it has gained the mastery of that particular sign, of that particular house, and in the matter, the planet, whatever planet is your Atmakaraka. So if it is Jupiter, so you are wisdom oriented. Now what kind of wisdom it is will be represented by the sign, by the house. So for example, if you are a cashier or an accountant in a private hospital, what image will it throw is that your Atmakaraka, how will it relate to your this kind of a profession of accountancy? It would like manifest in some way that people would say that he or she works in an hospital. Maybe they'll be able to help you out in the times of crisis where you have health related crisis. Now what the projection is going is that you are someone related to hospital setting, someone related to 12th house, isolation, all of these karakas of the 12th house. They are not relating you to accountancy or calculation or that cash related work. Like you are the person who is managing all the inflow and outflow of the cash in that particular hospital. Now this is what I am trying to explain. The Atmakaraka will project your image wherever it is sitting. The profession will be projected in those manners. But what particular profession is of yours, that would be decided by the Amatyakaraka. And of course, there's one more important thing to be checked here. The major responsibility of a planet, of a chart, of an individual's life is actually on the Amatyakaraka, not on the Atmakaraka. Why? Because the Atmakaraka, anyone's Atmakaraka, even if it is in odd sign or even sign, all the Atmakarakas in everyone's chart are either in the Balavastha or in the Vridhavastha. They only have 25% of impact on our lives. The most prominent are the planets which are Amatyakaraka, Bhatrakaraka, and subsequent planets. They have the major impact on our lives. So the basic theme goes like Atmakaraka is that nominal head of your particular chart. It is sitting there and it is telling you, and it is telling all the other planetary cabinet in your chart that I want this and this from this particular journey of my soul, whatever the birth I have taken. And now you have the responsibility to make it happen. Amatyakaraka is the planet which will be responsible for all of these things. So Amatyakaraka is really a very important kind of a planet. Its affliction is something which can create problems in your life. So Amatyakaraka is something which has to be judged and analyzed very specifically. In basic terms, Atmakaraka is the king or the queen of Great Britain, and the prime minister is the Amatyakaraka, who has every power to implement whatever tools it has on its disposal. This is how we study the basic workings of the chart. Now let's move forward and let's understand the placement of the Atmakaraka in all the houses of your Devon chart. Now when you have your Atmakaraka placed in the first house of your horoscope, what you will see is that you are really a powerhouse of energy. Your work, your professional front will be either related to your physical self very much or to your intellectual self. So this is a contrast. So basically your profession would either need you to be extremely healthy, extremely fit, agile, and all the physical abilities will be needed in your profession, or it will need you to mentally be extremely fit. You are doing some mental exercises on regular, some mental calculations exercises on regular basis in your professional front. Either of the things can be seen. The other thing is, it also gives a good competitive spirit to the person. All of you who has your Atmakaraka in the first house of your D1 chart, you are really competitive persons in a good way. You people are a powerhouse of energy. So even if you are in the advancing age in your life, you still are very energetic. You want to go out on trekking, on sports on daily basis, and this is where your fuel comes in. You want to be physically agile in all of your life. The very important point with this particular placement is that you people always tend to develop wisdom as you age. Like with advancing age, you feel that you have more, you have understand the philosophy of life, and there is where you believe that yes, this is what is happening, and this is what I was doing wrong in my teens, and this is who I am evolved into. All of these things you will feel with your age progressing. Because why is it happening? Because the first house is really very important house of the chart, and if it is the D1, it is very important. Why? Because it is also a Kendra house and also a Trikona house. So the both kind of energies, both kind of benefic energies are flowing into that house. So it is really a good placement with that perspective too. It is also a very strong Raj Yoga. If your Atmakaraka is sitting in the first house of your D1 chart, it is really a strong Raj Yoga. What it tells is, maybe if the charts promises challenges, disputes in your life, but you will be able to overcome it through your wisdom, through your patience in your life. And you people are really very keen about your dressing sense. If you are working in a corporate setting, you will be very much this conscious about your how you dress and how you present yourself in the world. Moreover, these qualities will be enhanced if you have Mars or Venus particularly as your Atmakaraka. You will have a good dressing style. You will have this aesthetic sense of how you should be presented in the world. So this is really a very peculiar point with this Atmakaraka in the first house of your D1. Also, you will have that kind of aggressiveness in your personality, in your nature, but with benevolence. Benevolence will be something every time present in your personality. Even if you will see your enemy in some kind of distress, you will feel sorry about him or her. But the benevolence is something, you are also a master of deceit. This is something which I can say from this particular placement, that you can deceive others by having control on your emotions. All of these things are also seen in your personality. With this particular placement, it can also be suggested that you are the people who are very much interested in astrology, astronomy, or disciplines like physics or biology, public administration, and politics, political science, and all of these kind of subjects, they really entice you. So now the public image thing, how your public image will be projected in the outer world through your profession. It will be projected as if that you are always self-employed. You people want to be self-employed, even if you are in a corporate setting or in that kind of a job-oriented profession. What you will want to do is that you would want to climb up the ladder to reach at the apex, so that your decisions become independent, that it becomes the job becomes kind of a self-independent in nature. The self-independence thing is particularly seen with this Atmakaraka in the first house. Even if you are doing some kind of a profession which is related to anything in the world, you would be always be working for yourself. You will be earning for your own, and you will be managing on your own. This is how your public image will be projected in the outer world, its reflection by its Atmakaraka. So this is how your public image will be projected. Although the particular planet it is, the particular sign it is, and the particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the D9 chart, all of these things will matter, and I will bring dedicated videos on these topics soon in the future. So let's move forward and let's understand the placement of the Atmakaraka in the second house of your horoscope. So when your Atmakaraka is in the second house of your D1 chart, the central theme for your public image, for your professional public image here, will be about family name, family business, or something of a brand, basically branding of something. Now it can be family name of another family as well. What I mean to say is that you might be working in some kind of a business on some post, and that particular business is known by the world by a family name. Basically what does it show is that you will be associated, labeled as working in Tata and Sons or Warner Bros, or some kind of a business which has a family name to it. That is something which will be seen. Or you will be directly associated with ornaments, jewelry, speech, or any kind of your own skill as well, of ornaments, jewelry, that people will say that you are working in that particular section of Kalyan Jewelers. We do not know if you are an accountant, or if you are a data analyst, or if you are in the quality assurance. We do not know anything. But this is what the public image will be projected as. Your profession and its image is associated with jewelry, ornament, or it can also be associated with some kind of a skill of your own. What kind of skill? Speech, voice, food, or sensory pleasures. Like people would say that you are a food critic. That is something which can also be seen. The other thing is with this particular placement that the wealth is something which is really at a focus. So it also suggests that you can also be somehow related to the banking sector of any organization. Will this organization be large or small? All of these things will be decided by your Amatyakaraka. But banking can also be there. The other thing is that you can also be related to a food chain in some way, working for a food chain. The other thing is that the Venus and the Jupiter's placement are important to be checked in your chart, where they are, what this particular planet is. If let's say if your Atmakaraka is Venus sitting in the second house, so it definitely shows that you are working in the banking sector, you see. Or if it is Venus sitting with Moon in the second house, so it definitely again shows that you are in the accounting section of the banking. So this is how the layers will be unfold. But basically what your profession will carry is something of a exotic, luxurious, or extravagant sort of elements in it. Like it can also mean that you are in some kind of a profession, we do not know what it is, because we don't know where your Amatyakaraka is, but the output is what, that you are going on vacations to Maldives or some expensive extravagant places on regular basis. You see, the second house is activated through your profession. We do not know what your profession is because we don't know where your Atmakaraka is. But extravagance is something which is being reflected in the outer world. That can also be a possibility. This is how your profession is generating your public image. The public image of your profession is this, that extravagance, luxury that you are, we don't know what you are working in, but you have the latest version of the iPhone. This is what is being represented with this Atmakaraka in the second house of your D1 chart. It can also show that your face or your dental health or something that sort is also connected in some way. So basically what it can show is that maybe you are in some kind of a profession and it has given really a good glow to your face. So again, the prosperity and luxury factor comes in. Or it can also show that you are related to some dental hospital in some way. That can also be a possibility, that maybe you are doing some kind of a job in a dental hospital. Or it can also suggest that you are someone who is into some kind of a factory where it smells awful, because nose is also the karaka of the second house. So you see, these are the nuances which will be presented by your Atmakaraka in the second house. So will it be bad or good? Like if your Saturn is your Atmakaraka sitting in the second house, it can show that you are working in a sugar factory. Why? Because it smells awfully there when the sugar is in the production stage. So this is how your Atmakaraka will represent. It will give you a hint about your profession. It will give you the hint about the public image of your profession, which is being reflected in the outer world. But the layers, the colors will be filled by a Mathikaraka sign, the particular planet it is, and the D9 placements as well. So for that, I'll be bringing videos in future. Stay connected. Let's move forward. Let's understand placement of the Atmakaraka in the third house of your D1 chart. So now when you have your Atmakaraka placed in the third house of your horoscope, what you will see is that central theme of the image of your profession, which is being projected in the outer world, is related to short travels, either bus, trains, flights, or some kind of a vehicle, or it is related to business meetings, constant traveling, and regular constant traveling. Like every Saturday, you have to go to a certain city, 100 kilometers apart, and this is how your profession is being projected in the outer world. Also, your profession, whatever you are doing, we do not know what you are doing because we do not know where your Mathikaraka is sitting. We are talking about the public image which is being projected by your profession. It can also display the image of vacations, holidays, hobbies. Now, what does it mean is that whatever you are doing professionally, either you are well paid and you have ample amount of time to invest in vacations, holidays, or hobbies, or the profession is something where you do not get a minute of your time to care about all of these things. So it can suggest that either you are in a very important role as in the profession. Now, what is that particular thing which will be reflected in your particular life will be decided by the particular planet it is. If Saturn is there, so yes, of course, it is more towards hardworking and efforts being utilized. The other thing is with this placement of the Atmakaraka in the third house, that the placement of the Mars and Mercury becomes very important. Gives the color in your professional life of that some way your profession is either related to high physical activities like combat skills, or it is related to high technological combat skills. So maybe this can represent that you are a god level coder, or it can also suggest that you are in some kind of an artistic physical activity. The other thing with this placement suggests that the profession, whatever profession you are in, it displays a kind of duality in its nature. So what it can show is that you are in two kind of professions. So basically, you have one vocation and another profession. So this kind of duality is being reflected in your chart, in your life. So the dual nature is also a major central theme in your life. Maybe you are the people who are compelled to not tell everyone what you are doing. You are compelled to, maintain those secrets in your professional front. this can also be seen. That whatever you are saying at this minute can change the very next minute. Also, with this Atmakarka in the third house, you can see that whenever people think about you or they remember you, the image which is being created in their mind is like words written on a page. This is some kind of a basic theme which everyone relates you with. This can also suggest that you are in some kind of a skill related to hand. That whatever you are earning is because of it is a handcraft. It can be cooking. It can be some kind of an artistic work as well. It can also be some kind of a handloom or some detail-oriented work in any sector. So basically, short travels, constant travels, hand-related work, a hand skill, all of these things will be reflected in your life professionally. So this public image is being thrown, is being projected in the outer world through your profession by your Atmakaraka. The skill which is related to your hand can be, it can suggest that maybe you are a magician and you are doing those card tricks, which, we see. I really like all those magicians out there on the social media, and I am really addicted to seeing them. So they are performing those card tricks with their hand. Now, they are the magicians. So basically, what it shows is the Atmakaraka is somewhere related to Rahu, or it's in Aquarius, or some that sort of a relation will be seen in the chart. But the Atmakaraka, it can be in the third house because the hand related skill is something which is being shown. The art of deception and misdirection is something which they are presenting to you through their hands. So this is how you will decode this particular bit of the Atmakaraka in the third house. It can also mean in different ways that cooking or gardening, like grafting the plants, the mangoes of different kinds into a similar tree is also a hand related craft or a skill. So the skill can be, it can be in many ways present in your life, but the prominence of hands and a skill will be surely there. So let's move forward. Let's understand placement of the Atmakaraka in the fourth house of your Devan chart. Now, when you have your Atmakaraka placed in the fourth house of your horoscope, what it will show is that you are the person who is the upholder of the family. Your profession will reflect it. Your karma will reflect it in some way. That for males, you are the best son, the best husband, the best sibling, the best father. And for the females, it is for the you are responsibly taking out your duties. You are responsibly accounting to the responsibilities of you being a daughter, a wife, a mother, and of course a sister. So all of these things will be there if you have the Atmakaraka in the fourth house. Your domestic life is something which is people see that particular person, that particular family has a great domestic life. They are doing their jobs. Now your job can be a very routine job. You're working somewhere in the 9 to 5, you are well paid, and you are coming back to your home on a regular basis, daily, on a fixed time. You are going back to your office, and it is all it's set in a routine. You have a happy family life. So family life is actually the main concern here. And prosperity, nourishment, comfort naturally comes in. Whatever you are doing professionally, it is not in any sense disharmonizing your comfort at your home. So this is the projection, the public image which is being projected. Atmakaraka in the fourth house can also mean that you are someone of a patriotic mindset and you are working for your homeland, for your own country. So this can also mean that you are in policing jobs, you are in army, you are in military. All of these things will be seen with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the fourth house. It can also mean that your central theme of your life is connected to emotions in some way. So that can mean that maybe you are an actor of some kind, or you are a public figure, mostly politician. They can also have this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the fourth house. And people on normal basis, they like you a lot. Now if your Atmakaraka is sitting somewhere which is exposing you to the masses, then you have the support of the masses as well. And if you are someone who is not in a very exposed kind of a profession, you are someone working on the daily basis, it is a desk job, So what it can be showing is that you are supported by your colleagues, by your boss. All of these people in your vicinity, they look up to your guidance. This is also something which is being projected here in the if the Atmakarka is in the 4th house of your D1 chart. And of course the placement of the moon and the Jupiter will be very much important to look in your chart where it is going. It will in some way impact your Atmakarka sitting in the 4th house. So let's move forward and let's understand the placement of the Atmakaraka in the 5th house of your D1 chart. So when you have your Atmakaraka placed in the 5th house of your D1 chart, what it will suggest is that the central theme here of your life related to your profession becomes government. So this really suggests that you are in a good government job as the first thing, or you are working for some kind of a organization which is famous, like big four companies or something, that sort of a setting. The other thing is that with the Atmakarka placed in the 5th house of your D1 chart, it can also show that your work is something creative related. That is something which will be seen, that you are the person who is into designing the cars for a good famous company, or you are the person working at the back end of some big production house. So you see, either the organization will be creatively related or your work will be creatively related. Either of the things can happen. The other thing with this particular placement of the Atmakarka in the D1 chart can suggest that your workplace is very expanded. Now it does not mean that you are working in some kind of a setting which is expanded on so many levels. It can mean that it has so many branches all over the world. It can also mean that company is actually, the ventures it has are present in all the walks of our life. This can also be represented with this particular placement of the Atmakarka in the 5th house. Like FMCG companies, if you see them, so they are the companies, particular companies which are in all walks of life. The other thing is that this Atmakarka in the 5th house gives the central theme, the public image to your profession as romance also. So this can mean that people can sometimes say that they were involved with this particular person romantically some point in their life, and that is why their profession has boosted over the period of time, because they were with this particular person for these many years. They helped them in making contacts, and that is why the profession see a good sharp rise. So this is also something which will be attached to your profession. Now we do not know what particular profession you are in. For that, I'll be bringing a video of the Atmakarka in all the houses of the D1 chart. There will be decoding the nature of your profession, the particular profession you are in. Right now here, what we are talking about is the public image of your profession, where this profession is leading you towards. What is it projecting in the outer world will be seen from this particular placement. It can also mean that you are working in some kind of a setting where children are related. Now that can also mean that you are working with some institution which works for special children. If the 8th lord is related some way, or if if you are a Leo rising particularly, and Jupiter becomes your Atmakaraka sitting in the 5th house, so the Jupiter is also the ruler of your 8th house. So what it will show is that you are working for special children, or you are working in some kind of setting which is related to children. So it can also show that you are in teaching jobs or some kind of profession where students are involved. So basically university, college, schools, all of these things can also be seen with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 5th house of your D1 chart. The Atmakarka video will be coming soon, and there will be decoding what particular kind of profession you are in. So let's move forward and let's understand the placement of the Atmakaraka in the 6th house of your D1 chart. So when you have your Atmakaraka placed in the 6th house of your D1 chart, what you'll see is that you have extremely competitive behavior in yourself. Whatever profession you are, you want to rise and rise with each and every coming year, coming day, coming month. This forms a basis of your mentality at the work front. The other thing is that you will be dealing with some conflicts, some problems, some challenges, some disputes at your work front. That is for sure. The other thing which we will see with this Atmakaraka placed in the 6th house of your D1 chart, that you are in some kind of a profession which is ultimately healing people in some way, like or it is making them relieved from some kind of a problem, conflict, issue, stress, or anything. So what professions can be there? You can also be a doctor, you can be a someone in policing, or those jobs. You can also be a lawyer, because your profession can also involve these conflicting things on the daily basis, like you are conflicting on the daily basis for someone in courtroom or in any other setting with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 6th house. But what your true profession is will be defined by your Amatyakaraka, wherever it is sitting, in whatever house, in whatever sign, whatever planet is your Amatyakaraka. All of those things will define the true nature and the true profession in your life. But the Atmakaraka is something which projects your profession into something of a 6th house setting. The other thing which you can see is that involving calculativeness, conflict resolution, and doing it with consistency. So consistency is the key word here. Whatever you are doing, whatever conflict you are resolving, whatever stress you are taking on yourself, in whatever way you are harming your own health, is also on a daily basis. So it is a consistent kind of a setting. So it can also suggest that you are in some kind of a particular job or service oriented sector. So this can also be seen. Or if not, if you have irregular pattern of your work front, of your profession, what you can see is that you are more towards, if there is something 0 to minimal stress in some days, and then when you will be working in those days, the stress or the consistent hard work can really peak high. This is something of a crucial sort of a nature with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 6th house. The other thing with this Atmakaraka in the 6th house of your D1 chart will also suggest that your public image of the profession is also enhanced, boost, or helped by your maternal relatives, specifically your mother's brother in this case, or your cousins. Your younger cousins can also be there, but the elder ones are more to help you out with this particular scenario of your profession. So maybe they are the people who are giving you good contacts in your professional front, or they are helping you to resolve some issues at your work front, so that your work front is more guided, more protected, and more stable with their inputs. The other thing is that your public image is being represented as you are someone doing calculative sort of a profession, calculative business, or calculative work on daily basis. This is something of a kind of a professional projection which is being given in your life by your planets. So it can also suggest that you are a banker. Are you a banker or not? That will be completely defined by your Amatyakaraka, wherever it is sitting. But yes, calculative behavior and quick thinking, taking quick decisions, consistent working and hard working, patience, and sticking to the timetable is some of the crucial points in your professional front. Whatever you do, that will discuss in the Amatyakaraka video about your true profession. But these are the projections which your Atmakaraka is being projecting, that you are the person. If you are late by a minute or so, your whole work can be disturbed for the day. This is the kind of profession you are in. Although there is this problem of this quick response to emergencies, this is also a nature of your profession. But you also carry a humorous kind of a communicative kind of a attitude at your work front. So what it suggests is either it is something very casual, or it is something very serious. You see, the doctors are the people who are joking around in the operation theatre to make the mood light. So it is the profession is more on the serious note, and they are using the use of mercury, the use of humor, to relax everyone. But again, if you are, let's say, into a business of trading yachts or something, that sort of a setting, so you are more into connection building, contacts building, and you are more humorous kind of a joking personality who is being trusted by everyone easily. That is why you are in that kind of a particular business. You are dealing with businessmen and they are taking you seriously. Why? Because you are the light-hearted person and you joke around, but when it is all about business, then it is all about business for you. So you see, the lighter tone of the profession is more towards switching between the Mercury and the Saturnish role. And the more serious tone of the profession, if you are into that particular professions of being lawyers, being doctors, or any emergency crisis response things, in these professions like frontline workers of any kind, maybe they are in the policing jobs, or they are in army or anything like that, so you all are inclined to carry the Mercurian traits with you. All the things you are dealing with is already very serious. So this is the interpretation which it will go like. So basically Mercury and Saturn are the two most important planets in your chart to be looked at. They will tell what this Atmakarka is doing. What this Atmakarka is, that particular planet will also give so many kinds of details into this. Like if your sun is your Atmakaraka placed in the 6th house, what it will suggest is that you are someone working for the government. You are in a government role, and that government role is really something very important. Like your decisions, your calculations can be disastrous if they go wrong. So these are the things which will be projected by your Atmakaraka, which will contribute into the public dignity, into the public image of your profession. Mercury and the Saturnish traits are the public image of your profession. Check where Mercury and Saturn are sitting in your Devon chart. They will give you a more idea what you are dealing with actually. So let's move forward and let's understand the placement of the Atmakaraka in the 7th house of your Devon chart. So when your Atmakaraka is placed in the 7th house of your Devon chart, what you will see is the central theme of your profession revolves around making alliances and partnerships and dealing with people on one-to-one basis. So these are the basic pointers which your profession gives out. The public image is related in such a way. The other thing is that marriage and alliance will play a pivotal role in your professional front. This is very important when your Atmakaraka is sitting in the 7th house. The other thing is that your profession holds the public image of dealing with these certain words of diplomacy, balancing out, of partnership, business. All of these terms are crucial at your workplace. The other thing is that what you will see with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 7th house is that the females in your life, any female in your life, be it your friend, your mother, your daughter, your sister, your wife, your girlfriends, all of them will play a pivotal role in shaping your profession. And will it be in a negative way or will it be in a positive way, that will be defined by a personal Devon chart, and according to the transits the Venus is in or the 7th lord is in. But basically the females are really important to boost your career, or they are really important for your career. Similarly, the Friday is something very important with your career when you have Atmakaraka in the 7th house. The other thing is that your profession is related to such a place, like the public image of your profession is attached to a single word, that is market or marketplace. These both terms are actually related to your career. They define your career. So maybe you are a trader and you are a stock trader trading in the market. So see, the relevance of the market is there. Or you are the person who is dealing at the marketplace of your own personal city, or whatever city or country you are living in. That can also be seen. Or you are a businessman. You have to keenly observe the ups and downs of the market. So market and marketplace, both of these things, they play a pivotal role in your professional front. It can also mean like people who are working in the stocks exchange, they can also have this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 7th house. Moreover, your profession can also revolve around designing or structurizing something. So maybe you are an architect and you are into structurizing things. Or if more Saturnus traits will be this heavy in the 7th house, so you are someone making foundations of the buildings, or a builder. You can also be that if Mars is also supporting this Saturn. The other thing is that this whole scenario of the professional front is revolving around a particular fact that you are very just. you are the person who is fond of justice. You never get impartial at any cost, at any side. So it can also mean, if the sun is your Atmakaraka sitting in the 7th house, it can also mean that either you are working for the government or for a big organization. That can be seen. So if you are working for the government, you will be the person who is very honest. And honest, this government servant is seen with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 7th house. That you have those qualities of exalted Saturn. You want to profess those qualities of exalted Saturn in your work front. So these are the public image which will be projected by your Atmakaraka sitting in the 7th house of your Devon chart. What your true profession is, that will be dependent on your Amatikaraka, the sign it is in, the planet which is your Amatikaraka, and in which house it is sitting. But the Atmakaraka, wherever it sits, it defines the central theme of your profession. Also, this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 7th house can also mean that you are, or your profession is some way related to celebration of some kind. So maybe you are a wedding planner. All of these things can also be seen. Like you are the one structurizing and, as I've said, designing. So maybe you are designing for celebration specifically. Why? Because Libra sign is also the symbolism of celebration parties in this world. So this is the main crux of this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 7th house. Business, partnership, marriage and alliance will be actually something, people will say about you in the world normally, that he or she, when they married, their profession boosted a lot. And now we don't know if it is luck or if it is a definite contact or some other thing which their spouse helped them in their profession. But definitely there will be the rise in your career, and the upliftment will be seen after you get married. So this is the particular projection of the public image of your profession which Atmakaraka is throwing into the outer world with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 7th house. Let's move forward and let's understand the placement of the Atmakaraka in the 8th house of your D1 chart. So now when you have your Atmakaraka placed in the 8th house of your D1 chart, what you'll see is that you as a person would have had a struggled life, a life full of struggles always. So this is the basic concept. The other thing is that your career is something which is extremely transformative. You are the person who is very hardworking, and you are constantly, if you get something and you get hold on to something in your life professionally, you really put 100% of your efforts in it. This is something which we'll see. Now, as I've told about the transformation, what kind of transformation does it really suggest? This will suggest that you are dealing with something professionally which is not at all common in your family. You are the person doing it for the first time. This is the basic concept you will see at your professional front, that whatever you are doing in this work front of yours, this has never been done by anyone in your family, not your mother, not your father, not your siblings, not your grandparents even. So this is something very new to you. So this is a kind of transformation which is being shown here. The other thing is that your profession is also it can also be something related to responding to the emergencies also, and dealing with death and rebirth scenarios in daily life. Atmakaraka in the 8th house can suggest you can become someone who is dealing with death and rebirth, maybe a psychiatrist, maybe a surgeon specifically, not a physician, or maybe an astrologer, something like that sort of a profession. The other thing is that you will see that your profession is projecting something which is very innovative and it is very new. Like maybe you are someone who is doing PhD in artificial intelligence, or you are studying the systems of how we can relate any concept of mathematics to higher sciences. These all are the things which you will be working in. And whatever career you are in specifically, the most important central theme professionally will be with this Atmakaraka in the 8th house is that if someone knows you and they know your name personally, your personality, and they know you can help them, so whenever they'll hit any situation of crisis and they'll encounter any situation of crisis in their life, they will remember your name. that you are the person who will be helping them. You are the person who can help them, or you can just give them good advice on that particular crisis of theirs. So this is the basic, karma which you are here to pull off with this Atmakaraka in the 8th house. The other thing is a very peculiar and a good news for all the people having Atmakaraka in the 8th house, that these people work till a good old age. Like you are the people who are working with full energy in your 80s, in your 90s, and your body will support it too. Like maybe if you are not able to do the basic chores of your household, but at the professional front is where your energy is being exerted, mentally, physically, in every sphere of the professional realm. So this is also a peculiar point, that you work till a good old age, even when you are a senior citizen, with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 8th house. Also, you are in some careers, some professional careers, which cannot be substituted by AI. Actually, in my sense, maximum of the professions right now cannot be substituted by AI. But this is the today's scenario. What I'm talking about is that even in the 100 years, your professional front, AI or artificial intelligence will not be able to replace it. So you are in specific those tasks. So maybe you are in administration, you are in some sort of other implemented, professions which are directly implemented on some people, or you are an actor. So the creativity an actor portrays on the camera cannot be substituted by AI for next 100 years at least. This is something which is seen with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 8th house. So it gives a good longevity to your career as well, to you as well, but a good longevity to your career too, with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 8th house. When you have your Atmakaraka in the 8th house, let me tell you a very definite fact with this particular placement, that if the retrogression theme is very heavy in your chart, like your Atmakaraka is retrograde, your Amatyakaraka is retrograde, your Lagnesh is retrograde, or planet sitting with this Atmakaraka in the 8th house is retrograde, the dispositor of the 8th house, the lord of the 8th house is retrograde. So this is a heavy retrogression theme in your chart. If you have this, your particular career will be changed completely at least once in your life. And specifically Saturn, if Saturn is retrograde in your chart. So if you have any of these placements, so yes, your profession will be changed at least once in your lifetime completely. So maybe you are doing something of this particular sector, and now you abandon it and you jump into something totally new and totally different thing. So this is also a peculiar fact which we get about this profession of yours through your Atmakaraka sitting in the 8th house. What your true profession is, what you are doing actually to earn your bread and butter. We'll discuss that in the Amatyakaraka video, which I'll be bringing soon. So stay connected for that, and let's move forward and let's understand the Atmakaraka placed in the 9th house of your D1 chart. So now when you have your Atmakaraka placed in the 9th house of your D1 chart, what you will see is that your profession and your work front is something related to luck, guidance, father support, fortune. All of these things are involved in your profession. Like all of these terms are involved in your profession. So a philosophy of some kind, cult of some kind is something which you are connected to. Like maybe your profession reflects that you are working in PETA. Why? Because you are an animal lover. So what philosophy are you following is of animal lover, that the animals, they also have rights and we have to protect them. So this is something which I want to work for, and then you attach yourself with that kind of philosophy in your life. But basically the philosophy of some kind is something, a cult of some kind is something which you are following. The cult can be anything else, that if you are maybe a believer of something, like there should be equal rights to everyone, there should be gender fluidity in the world, then you are working in those realms. So these are the professions which are being reflected. This can also mean that if you are a lover of physics or mathematics, that this can also mean, on a very simple term, that you are a professor but then you are again related to some kind of philosophy, some kind of belief of your own self, that I love mathematics, that I love physics, that and that is why I'm working in that particular profession where I am associated to it on a regular basis. The other thing is that what I said about luck, fortune, and father figure. So what people will say to you is that whatever your profession is, what in whatever profession you are, people will tell you were fortunate enough that you got these opportunities. You were lucky enough that you could study at the right time. Also with this particular placement of the Atmakarka in the ninth house, so you are following some kind of a philosophy. The philosophy can be anything from vegan diet to prosthetic makeup, anything. Whichever you believe is something which you are following and which you are making your profession towards, building your profession into. So this is the field, this is my chosen field, this is my I am into this financial advising is my field and I love it and I'll go into it. This is all kind of a guidance you have since childhood. You will have this. The other thing is that you are really a religious person, and how this religious inclination will be affecting your professional front, that you will make sure that your profession, whatever you are doing at your professional front, is religiously inclined. Like whatever religion you are following, whatever faith you believe in, you will be a devout follower of the precepts of those faith and religion, and you will make sure that in the process of your profession you are not someone who is going against those precepts of your religion. So this is something, a kind of a crucial nature you have in your personality. Also whatever your religion will be giving precepts of, like in Islam there is some kind of a donation which you have to give from income of your whatever you make, a particular amount, a particular percentage which you have to donate, that is called zakat. So basically this is something, a kind of a precept which is given by religion, which is given by faith and relating to your profession. So you are the people who will be devout followers of this particular thing. Moreover, like in Hinduism, it is written that karmarne vadika raste ma phaleshu kadachana. So what does it mean is that it is a Sanskrit shlok meaning whatever you have your efforts in your strength, you should put it in to your work. Do not wait for the results. Do not think of the results. Do not let results affect you. This is what is written in Bhagavad Gita, and you people having Atmakaraka in the ninth house will be very intrinsically follow this, that whatever I am doing, I should do it, I have to do better, but I do not have to think of results. This is what is represented with this Atmakaraka in the ninth house. So what does your public image throws into the natural world is that it is more of a, you were lucky enough to get that particular study or profession in time. You were properly supported by your family, by your father, by your parents, by your grandparents, anyone, and you were lucky enough to find that guidance which was not present in lives of others. So this is what is the public image being associated. So what does it give is that you have a very successful career. That is why people are thinking about all of these, they are relating all of these facts to you. So at your career front, you can do better, you will do better, you will get success, you can get fame too if sun is somehow involved or sun is sitting in particular places. But yes, so fame is also seen from the ninth house and success is also seen from the ninth house. If you stick to the precepts of your faith, of your religion, you will be fulfilled emotionally and at every front in your life, and there is where you will get the success and betterment at your professional front with this Atmakaraka in the ninth house of your Devon chart. So let's move forward and let's understand the placement of the Atmakaraka in the 10th house of your Devon chart. Now when you have your Atmakaraka placed in the 10th house of your horoscope, what you will see is that whatever you make, you are in some kind of a profession which is either produced in bulk so that it reaches every home and every nook and corner of your country, or you are producing this product for a large group of audience, for a large group of people, a bulk of consumers to consume it at once. So this is the basic core of your professional front. Whatever you are doing, it is very much expanded. Now it can be mass production of something, and it can also be delivering the product to mass audience with this particular placement of the Atmakarka in the 10th house. The other thing is that people will tell you that you are too lazy and you are too inactive at your career front. People will believe that you are not the person giving good attention to your career front. You are not active at all. You are not properly investing your energy at your work front. But what they fail to understand is that you are waiting for the right opportunity, and when the right opportunity comes, you will grab it like a crocodile. This is the basic logical understanding of this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 10th house, that you are lazy, and the period of inactivity will be there at your career front at some time in your this life. But whenever the right opportunity comes, you will be able to grab it with utmost energy, like a crocodile hunting its prey. This is what is seen with this particular placement. The other thing is that with this particular placement of the Atmakarka in the 10th house, that the judgment, whatever you make, so the decision making at your career front are never to be questioned by anyone. Whatever decision you will make, whatever things you will decide, like should leave this company now, I should join this company now, this is not the perfect boss, I should tell them this to this person, I should not tell this particular piece of news to this person, all of those decisions will fall correct in your lifetime. So there are two terms which are basically connected with your public image of the professional front. These are hard work and smart work. Either both of the things will be present, or one of them will be definitely there for sure. So what does your profession look like? The public image of the profession is more towards that he is in a very hardworking profession, or they are in something very, where so much of smart work is needed, so much of presence of mind is needed, quick decisions are something which are needed at their work front, and this is really a tough job. All of the people will associate this tough word to your job on the regular basis, whatever you do, irrespective of the job you have, because the nature of your job, the nature of your career profession will be defined by your amartya karaka, in whatever house it is sitting in whatever sign it is sitting in. Here we are talking about the public image, the message which is being portrayed by a Atmakaraka at the professional front of yours. Why Atmakaraka is associated with the profession? Because people invest their energy, time in at their work front, and there is where they are termed as that he or she is someone very hardworking. He or she is someone into very kind of very tough job, which requires so many things, so many elements in it. So the elements which will be presented in your this 10th house with your Atmakarka in the 10th house will be quick decision, hard work, smart work, and presence of mind, precision and detailing, authority and government relationships also. You will be in some way related to higher authorities or higher government institutions or some higher businesses. The workplace will be very much expanded. It can also be expanded in this way, in this sense also, that you are connected and associated with someone or some organization which is working over a large area. Placement of Jupiter, Mercury, Saturn and Sun, all of these become very important. And if you have any Atmakaraka among all of these four planets which I have told you, your work front will directly have an impact from that particular planet. For example, if you have Jupiter as your Atmakaraka sitting in the 10th house, so what you will see is that your work front is something very much expanded, extremely expanded, and you are catering large people at once, or you are producing something or some object or some element for a large number for so many people. And there is heavy use of wisdom and intelligence which is required at your work front. This can show that you are in some organizations research and development sort of the branch. You are working there in R&D, and you are making it. Moreover, these R&D thing will be more enhanced if your eighth lord joins this Jupiter, if there is the presence of Rahu and Ketu, or any other retro planet is there, or if your Atmakaraka is retrograde. All of these things will be then moving more towards R&D. But basic thing is the basic elements will be same. Whatever profession you do, it will be a expanded, extremely expanded work front, quick intelligence, quick decision making, which will be required. You'll be required to do hard work and smart work both. At sometimes bulk production or catering bulk audience is something of a element too. The other thing is that you will be associated with uh, government authorities, government, or in some cases like higher organizations. Whatever field you are working in, the apex organization working in that particular field is what you will be associated with this Atmakaraka in the 10th house of your D1 chart. Let's move forward and let's understand the placement of the Atmakaraka in the 11th house of your D1 chart. Now, when you have your Atmakaraka placed in the 11th house of your D1 chart, what you will see is that central theme here is towards innovative behavior, is towards working out of the box, is towards making informed decisions about the other beings, basically animals or the downtrodden section of the society. And you will be very vocal about all of these problems. You would want to address the natural disasters, global warming, all of these things will concern you. And this is what will be also the projection of your professional front, that you are connected to some kind of a group, you are connected to some kind of a social circle which is pulling you towards all of these things, and you are working here and there. This can also mean that your belief is very stern in whatever belief you have, in whatever belief you do possess about your this professional front. Like I have also seen people having Atmakaraka in the 11th house who are teachers, and I tell them that you can earn well if you approach this and this particular school or this particular institution. But they say that no, we are connected to this particular institution now, and we have embraced, cherished moments here professionally, so we want to stick here professionally. This can also mean this. Moreover, your gains, whatever belief you have, you will be sticking to it at your professional front. Maybe it is not liked by others, but yes, there will be something. This is your beliefs will be stern. The other thing is that, which you can see with this Atmakaraka place in the 11th house, is that there will be heavy use of technology at your career front. So maybe you are someone operating machines or involved with machines of some like bigger kinds. So maybe you are in railways with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 11th house, or you are connected to social media with this particular placement. So basically you are dealing with technology, and it is bigger in number, like larger in number. Now, is the technology larger, or the audience you are catering is larger, will be defined by your Amatikaraka, wherever, in which house and in which sign it is sitting in. But your Atmakaraka in the 11th house will give this particular notion that yes, technology is somewhere related to it. Social media can also be something of very associating to your professional front. With social media, what I want to say is that your profession will be something very new age. You see, it is some a kind of a profession which is this discovered in the past 10 to 15, 20 years. It was not existing before that. So this is the public image of your profession. Like your relatives, your family members, and the people who know you will be saying that we didn't know that this can also be a kind of profession which you are doing now today, and you are earning well. So your profession will be very new age with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 11th house. The other thing is that your gains are something which will be also in the limelight, which will be also included in your public image of the profession. That you see, this is the person who is doing this new age profession, who is into in this technological new age profession of innovative kind, and he's earning well or she's earning well. Maybe you are a digital nomad, with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 11th house, that you are working free, you are a freelancer, you are working totally on online mode. Technology is related here. You are catering good amount of people, because maybe you are a writer or you are a logo designer, so you are catering good, heavy organizations, big organizations, but you are wandering here and there with this digital nomad visa. So this is also a thing with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 11th house, that whatever you do is very innovative, new kind of a thing. Your profession is actually related in and projected in such kind of a way in the outer world, in the outer sphere. Now, what particularly your profession is, that will be defined by Amatikaraka sitting in a particular sign, sitting in a particular house. I will be bringing that video soon. Stay connected for that, and let's move forward. Let's understand the placement of the Atmakaraka in the 12th house of your D1 chart. Now, when you have your Atmakaraka placed in the 12th house of your D1 chart, what you will see is that the projection your profession is giving is connected to foreign lands or distant places or isolation. So maybe your profession is something which took you out from your birthplace and placed you somewhere very far away from your motherland, from your family. Or this can be something which is more towards, the central theme here is more towards working in isolation and those isolated places. So maybe you are working in a hospital, it can be any job, maybe you are an accountant, or you are in a basically in the administration, you are working somewhere in isolated setting. The particular work which you are doing will be defined by Amatikaraka sitting in a particular house, sitting in a particular sign. But what your Atmakaraka sitting in the 12th house will be projecting is your public image of the profession. Whatever your public image of the profession is, and whatever your projection is about your profession is seen from the Atmakaraka placed in a house. So, isolation and foreign lands and spirituality, imagination, all of these terms are related to your profession. So people will be saying that because of this in this job, he or she has to move away to such and such country, and this is a term which is associated with your Atmakaraka, which is associated with the profession. Imagination can also be seen, that his or her work revolves around imagination or creativity. These both things can also be seen. The other thing is that calculative nature will be very low in your profession, whatever it can be. So it is more towards foreign lands, it is more towards creativity, it is more towards imagination and all the Pisces things. It can also be even towards spirituality, connecting spirituality to oneself, or connecting oneself to spirituality. So maybe you are the person who is working in a scon, that can also happen. So basically this is what is being represented by your Atmakaraka. So that yeah, maximum portion of your life and the time and energy is being invested in the 12th house of your D1 chart. So all of these things will be seen. Moreover, this placement of the Atmakaraka in the 12th house can also represent that a term dream is associated with your career in some way. So basically, maybe you are a psychiatrist who is in the psychiatry department, who is into interpretation of dreams, that sort of a profession. Or you are someone who is interrogating people, or someone on the judiciary order and they are in sleep state. So all of these things will be necessary. Or maybe simply you are the person who is into a business, who are doing business of some kind, but it will be related to 12th house. What it will be related to is, it can be someone, you are a dealer in mattresses, you are selling, and the mattresses or pillows, all of the sleeping stuff, basically bedding. The other thing is, with this particular placement of the Atmakaraka in the 12th house, can also be seen that you are in the business of footwear. So all of the karakas of the 12th house, footwear, dreams, and bedding, sleep, and foreign lands, imagination, all of these things. So basically leather can also be seen with this particular placement. You are someone dealing in leather. All of these terms will be related to your profession. What your particular profession is, will be answering and discussing that in the Amatikaraka video in all the houses of the D1 chart. So stay connected for that. That video will be coming soon. So this was my understanding of how the Atmakaraka placed in a specific house of the D1 chart will project the public image of your profession, how your profession will be projected in the outer world. Do not forget to like this video and share it with your friends and family. And please subscribe Galactic Echoes Astrology for more such quality content on astrology. Thank you.